Good morning. Happy Sunday. It is finally warming up in my hometown. Big picture time. We always talk about the big picture on Sundays, and yes, I didn't shave yesterday. We worked all day. I'm not even sure. I guess I went outside for a little bit and went for a walk, but otherwise we worked all day. You know, a lot of old school goal setting workshops or exercises ask you the question, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? And it's become kind of a cliche, but it's a great question. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you try and do? You know, I saw an Oprah show years and years ago. Obviously, it was years ago if I was watching Oprah. And she had a bunch of people on her show who had had near-death experiences. One person drowned and then got saved and actually had a little bit of a life after death experience. One person survived a plane crash. Another person survived a fire. I mean, these people had survived terrible incidences where, they should have died or could have died. And they all went on to do kind of extraordinary things in their life and not necessarily accomplish huge things, but do huge things. So one of them climbed Mount Everest, and one had run a ton of marathons all over the world, and one had become a volunteer and worked for the missions all over the world. They had all led very interesting lives. And when asked why, they said, they understood how much of a gift life really was after that experience when they thought it was going to get taken away from them. And they made every day count after that. The corny scene in Titanic where Leo DiCaprio says, I learned to make every day count. It's really true. There's a lot of people who have died in this past year. A legend from my hometown just died a couple of days ago, Olga Carlisle. She was 95, and she was a writer, a journalist, and an amazing lady. And, I think when we get to the end, we want to make sure that we're not looking back going, I wish I would have done all of these things. I wish I would have done all of this stuff with my life. Because at the end of the day, it's our choice. It's our choice what we decide to do and decide not to do, especially if you live in North America. If you live in the United States, the options for us are really never ending. But we get wrapped up. We get wrapped up in paying the bills. We get wrapped up in raising the kids. We get wrapped up in our careers. And, I think a lot of us get to a point where we think, well, when we get to a certain end zone, then we're going to do all of these things. But it doesn't really work that way. And a lot of times people get to that end zone and then they think they're going to go do all this great stuff in their life. And, they can't. Some health issue comes up or they retire and then die. Well, as we come out of this pandemic, people are going to start flying all over the place. I mean, right? Everybody's going to go do their thing. And that's awesome. And I hope that one of the things that we've learned is that you got to live every day. Have a plan and be responsible and work towards your goals, but you got to live every day. And every day has to be a moment where you decide these are the things that I'm going to do in my life because it's going to take me further towards my goals that I want to accomplish. Put first things first, as Stephen Covey used to say. Get up in the morning and decide these are the things I'm going to do because it's going to take me closer to my goals. But at the same time, these are the things I'm going to do because I'm going to enjoy my life and I'm going to have experiences and I'm going to do the things that I want. Remember, two types of pains. There's the pain of discipline and the pain of regret. Discipline weighs ounces and regret weighs tons. When you get to the end of this life, don't have regrets. Say the things that you want to say to the people that you really care about. Do the things that you want to do. If there's trips that you want, now's the time. Schedule them. We were looking at India yesterday because my wife is definitely going back to India, which means I'm going to be going to India. And you can book a trip a year from now, right now, for a very reasonable price. Now's the time. Book it. The only way that you actually go somewhere is when you make a decision that you're going to go. Every time I've ever taken a trip, I've come back and been so happy that I did. When I went to Egypt, the times that I've gone to Disney, every time I've done that, when I booked it, I went, man, do I have the money? Do I have the time? And then afterwards, I was like, man, I'm so glad that I did that. Tony Robbins has 2 seminars next month. He has a UPW and a Business Mastery, both virtual. Grant Cardone has a 10X seminar that's virtual that you can go to for $97. And for 4 days, you can hear some of the most successful people talk to you about how they achieved what they achieved. Why not do those seminars? I mean, Tony Robbins' stuff is a little bit more expensive if you think it's out of your league, but now you can do that stuff for an incredibly reasonable price. Do it. Get near these people. Listen to these people talk. Get inspired by them, and then go achieve the life that you want. As we break out of this pandemic, there's going to be so much money sloshing around this world that whatever it is that we all want to achieve, we certainly can. So, at the end of the day, when you get to the end of the road, you want to be able to look back and say, I did it all. There's a beautiful movie with Anthony Hopkins and Brad Pitt. And now the title of the movie eludes me. But Brad Pitt plays Death. And Anthony Hopkins plays an incredibly successful man who now knows that he's going to die. And he gives a speech at the end where it's his birthday. And he goes, my birthday wish is that every one of you has what I've had in my life. I'm at the end of my life, and I'm able to say that I've done everything that I came here to do. I've done everything that I've wanted to do. And that makes me the luckiest man on the planet. And so I wish that same for you. That's right. Meet Joe Black. That's the name of the movie. Thank you, Uncle Bill. It's a lovely movie, and it's a lovely speech. But that's really a choice for us to be able to be at the end of our life and feel that way. That's a decision. So on Sunday, as we do our big picture days, make that be your decision for the rest of your life, that whenever that last day comes, you can look back and say, I did it all. I did what I wanted to do. I did what I came here to do. Because I'm not there yet, but that's got to be a great feeling to be able to say that to yourself. So as we head out into this day where it's going to be warmer, and a week that's going to be warmer, we can start feel like we're thawing out from the deep freeze. Get a little sun, get a little oxygen, and put life into your step. Go attend some of these seminars. They're going to be so amazing. I'm going to attend all 3. I'm going to do all 3 of them. And get inspired, and then go do something great. Great in your terms, whatever that is. Doesn't have to be that you become, a trillionaire, but great on your terms as to what that means, so that you can look back at your life and say, I'm proud of what I did. Have a great day, everybody. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.